maybe talk a little bit about sort of what's happening in the shop in the meantime, and answer questions as we go in. But
right. So we'll just kind of talk about where we're at right now. I guess that's a good idea because of the delay, and then if you pop up any questions, we'll just answer them when we see them. So I guess you can be the first to know that I hired another Aaron. I got a young guy that needed some Cummins parts, and swung in by the shop, and then he just kept hanging around and didn't want to leave. So I figured I'd put him to work. But he's a really good go-getter. He's ran a lot of heavy equipment before and big into dirt bikes. So we're hoping to kind of expand the channel a little bit into some dirt bikes. He races a little bit too. So if we can get enough cash together, maybe we can sponsor him too. Who knows? But that's still a year or two away. And so far it's working out pretty good. He's excited about the Cummins swap, so he's right into the Silverado. But this last week, good customers of mine, they had a 2014 Massey tractor, 4610, and the EGR cooler went for crap and dumped the engine full of coolant. And they ended up bending 2 connecting rods. So we're in the middle of that engine build. That kind of has to go first. So I'm kind of doing the LS swap, getting more of that buttoned up, and then he's kind of working on the Silverado. And it's been really good. He's cleaned the shop really nice and kind of got stuff more organized. So hopefully that'll add a new dynamic to the channel too, rather than just hearing me talk all the time. So. Nice. 79 Pontiac Trans Am and a 99 Cummins. Yeah, Rick had that 79 Camaro, but I just really wasn't into it. It's a nice car. His was just too far gone. But yeah, everybody loves the 99 Cummins, Goodyear. So beautiful. What HS student? What does that stand for? Oh, high school. Okay, I thought that was a course or something. Right on. So what's happening after high school?
Talk a little bit about Fleet Master.
Yeah.
That got sold.
Yeah. So that was all in the video though, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you'll still be able to use it a little bit.
Oh yeah. Yeah, actually, that's so far it's pretty good. All the builds that I've done, we had a good relation with the customers. Some of them being friends, and some of them being complete strangers. I sold the Fleet Master to an older gentleman, and he said that we can still use it next year too, or year after. I got first dibs to buy it back, but. We can still use it for. I really want to chauffeur a wedding once, just to something different. Actually, get dressed up and have some fun with it. So, and then I also got a call from a guy in North Carolina, and we're pricing a 4BT swap and a Jeep Grand Cherokee, one of the older 80, early 90s style, the shoebox style I call them. So I'm just getting into that, but he's pretty serious. He's going out and buying it this week, he said. So he's battling cancer. He says, if I can beat the cancer, then I want you to build me a vehicle, kind of an off-road one. And then he wants to take it cross country. So that'll be really sweet too, because we can just give him a camera and say, like, take pictures of the Jeep in front of everything, all the kind of sights, and get some good off-roading video. But it's going to be him and his dog. And it should be really sweet. So nice. What year high school? You like early or late, where you actually have to think about what something serious that you have to pick, or is that just still a couple of years away?
Could even talk about some of the projects that aren't started yet, but are being talked about.
Yeah, so
nothing's in stone yet.
No, these are all just ideas kind of flying around. But you're talking about exhausted in that, or is that still too early?
Well, we don't know anything about that yet. But
no, but that at least somebody reached out to us and they want to.
Yeah.
Like so this is just between you and I and Aaron. This doesn't leave this room, whatever room you're in. But we had a couple guys, super nice guys that came and wanted to sit down. They're automotive journalists. I'm wondering if we can make some shows for them, possibly. So the YouTube channel stays the same, where it shows us building the projects and kind of goes in depth on putting the vehicles together, but then kind of make a nice half-hour show where it shows us using the project. So like a quick recap of the work we did, but then say we take like the Dodge Dually and we take it through the middle of the city and pick up a package or something like that, take it through drive-thrus and that, or when the GTO gets done, take it down to see LaTroy, if he'll still answer her tweets. LaTroy Hawkins. I don't know if you're into baseball at all.
Could tell that story because that's not anywhere. Nobody knows.
No?
About that.
Oh, okay.
Maybe if they follow us on Twitter a long time ago. But.
Yeah. So LaTroy Hawkins was the pitcher for the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah. And
he's got a 67 GTO, and we started tweeting about our GTO, and then he said that, send me a picture of yours, and then we sent him a picture, and then his is beautiful, LS swap, lowered and beautiful. Then he ended up getting traded to the Toronto Blue Jays, which Toronto's like an hour and a half away. Then that's the biggest baseball team, MLB team in our area. So then, but that was last season. He retired last season, so like a full season ago. And they actually got pretty close. I couldn't get tickets because the tickets is always a scam. We never seem to be able to get tickets, but friends of mine, so he got traded to the Jays, and then everybody's like, oh, that's too bad. Now, what do you think? You're moving from Colorado to Toronto. And he said, everybody stop talking about my trade of the Blue Jays, and let's talk about my second passion, which is hunting. And I don't really hunt because I don't really have time, but all my buddies are big hunters. So I called up my one buddy. I said, hey, you guys got room for one more at hunt camp for LaTroy Hawkins? And the guy that runs the hunt camp is a huge Jays fan. He's like, yeah, sure, anytime. So we invited LaTroy Hawkins out to go hunting, and he entertained the idea a little bit, but probably just doing his thing for the fans. And then, but he never ended up going. But the owner of the hunt camp had seasons tickets to the Jays, and he actually went into the dugout and got to meet all the Jays and hung out with LaTroy for a good 10 minutes or so. Yeah. So that was the highlight of his time. But then we kept tweeting him saying, well, we didn't get to meet you at a game. Maybe we could drive the GTO down to come see you. And he never really responded to that. So I think his contract ran out. He fulfilled his duties to his fans and kind of took off. So, yeah. So... nice. In the States, you guys have 12 grades too, right? We used to have 13, but the last grade 13 used to be optional, and then they got rid of that. So I just went to work right away. I never did the 13th grade, but you got so this year's 11th, and then another one after this, right?
Yeah, 12th grade is the last one, right? And then,
right. So. Yeah, it is in Canada now. I don't know what states.
Yeah, we used to have a 13th grade, but
yeah, I
was the last one to do.
Oh yeah.
Well, I was the first one to do just 12.
Yeah, me too.
So
no, you're 1 year younger than me then. You're how old am I? I think I'm 35. Am I 35? Am I 34 now? I think
There's
I'm
no
34.
way. You must have had OAC.
82.
You must have had it.
I think we were the last year that could do OAC.
Then you're 1 year ahead of me then.
Yeah, I think so. When were you born?
85.
Really? Okay,
yeah.
I'm 82.
So I'm thinking
like 3 years older than you.
You must have seen the first. You must have seen. Oh, okay, I know what it is. You were in grade 12 or OAC when the first grade 9s came in.
Yeah, okay, that didn't get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, because I came in with grade 9s.
Yeah. Right on. So grade 11, what time, when can you guys get your license? So we got our license at 16, but I didn't, I only had my license last year of high school. That's pretty sweet, 2 years, and you've got a 79 Trans Am. Is it on the road? You got to tweet us some pictures of this Trans Am. Are you on Twitter? Or join the Facebook group. Yeah, join the Boss Garage Facebook group and post pictures of the Trans Am and the Cummins on it. So Aaron will send you the link.
Yeah,
I'd like to see that. That's awesome.
There's 170 members now.
Really?
Yeah. That happens somehow. If you're on Facebook. If you're not on Facebook, don't make a Facebook account.
But then tweet it to us at the Boss Garage.
Yeah.
So who keeps approving all these people?
Everybody can approve.
Oh, everybody can approve?
Yeah. So this guy has approved somebody. I've approved a bunch.
I've approved a bunch. If they're
yeah,
I don't
spending.
know.
I
don't
know. Any update on the Silverado?
The Silverado, the drive shaft's in. We're moving it now, forward and back. And Louis was working on that. When I say Louis, I mean young Aaron. So young Aaron is younger than this young Aaron. I didn't realize I was 3 years older than you.
Yeah.
Okay, right on.
When you're this age, nobody really keeps track.
No. My wife is 4 years older than me, so I lose track completely. And she keeps lying about her age, so I have no idea how old I am.
Yeah.
No, you know what? You don't do social media? Honestly, I don't either. Aaron does everything. Yeah, so don't start social media. You know what? Scrap that crap and just keep working on the Trans Am and work on that Cummins. Yeah. Don't get distracted by it. It's Facebook, but I call it Fatebook, where everybody gets to brag about their best parts of the day and make everybody else feel like crap. Oh, my husband got me all these flowers. Look how sweet he is. Yeah, huh? But I did. Yeah, the rims are all polished, but that was in the last video. There's still an issue with the fan on the Silverado. When I turn the key on and the heater, it does a cycle check. So I think I got to pull the dash out again, which isn't great. Because there's a little motor that goes on top, and when you turn the key on, it does like a cycle check to turn the flaps all the way. You can kind of hear it, and it's not doing that. So then it makes a horrible noise. It makes you kind of wince. So yeah.
And this Sunday, I think we're going to do another episode of the LS swap to the Mercedes.
Okay.
What happens in that? I think it's the transmission going in.
Yeah, it's all transmission and transmission tunnel. Yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah. So in the video, it shows me lifting the transmission in by hand, but I'll tell you the secret that I gutted the transmission, so it's just the empty aluminum housing, which still weighs like 30, 35 pounds. It's still a little awkward, but it's not the I would say 200 pounds.
Huh.
Of a full one. You saw me.
When you get it, what does that mean?
So Colin, a friend of ours who's also on Patreon, he had a 4L60 that went for crap. So I put a used transmission in his truck and kept his. And then I took all the internals out of it. So it's just a hollow aluminum case. And then that case I put in and out like. Oh, really? Yeah, I took that case and put it in and out like 10 times for fitting it, right?
Oh, okay.
It's rather than me and handling a 200-pound transmission around all the time. Yeah. So I'm not really that strong.
Let's see. And then GTO kind of not much has been happening.
No, not since the last video. I put it together and then I rolled it in the shop there where
It's
it
a
is.
slower
So
build.
it's yeah.
That's not paying.
That Fleet Master really got in the way. Otherwise, the GTO would be done.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, I spent like 300 hours on that
on
the Fleet Master. So
yeah, all summer and stuff. Yeah,
I don't regret it. And I took a body course in college just on weekends when I did my mechanics there. But I'm really just getting guided by Randy Collin, who's got that professional body shop. So the Fleet Master really was my first car, and I think I'd do it the same because there is a lot of stuff that I learned with that, building that, so I can do a much better job on the GTO. So we do want that to turn into almost Concord cars. So.
And Randy Collin, we've done a couple videos with him. They're not super great as far as the audio quality.
Yeah.
Just because we haven't had any microphones, and now we're getting microphones. So, but
thanks to you.
It's great. It's great being able to kind of talk to him, and see what he's working on. Like he's at a totally different level as far as restorations and stuff goes.
Like it's nothing for him to throw 120 grand into a car. I just can't do that yet. That doesn't seem right, but I don't have that. We're still a different customer base for that. We're still building $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 vehicles. So
we're more in the budget swaps.
And do it yourself.
Yeah.
You still there? Or did you leave?
What else we got here? What was it? 24 valve in the shop? That was just valves?
Yeah. So I did the. Oh, you can put that video up. That's the rear main seal on the 24 valve, that Dodge. I think you keep getting that one confused with Collins' truck. I did them right side by side.
Yeah.
So it was an 07 5.9, but the cam had a seal.
I can see there's one person watching, so that's good.
Okay. Is that him?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all right. Thanks for coming out.
If it's cool with you, maybe we'll make this go like public, because right now it's a feature, but we'll leave that up to you, Sam. If you think it's cool, then we'll do it.
Well, we share some private information with him about the show. And like we have.
No one else will get that information. No.
So then there's like 2 minutes of blank. Where there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
So that same truck. What happened was there was salt. I think there was salt sitting on that bolt, and it stripped the head of the bolt off. So I couldn't get the bolt out. But even if I could get it out with the tools, I wouldn't be able to put that bolt back in again, right? So even though I worked on that truck like a month ago, I just got it back for the valve set, so it was a quick Saturday afternoon type thing. So.
And then the convertible, did that sell? Did you sell that?
No, there was a guy that was interested in it. I don't think I'm going to go down in price any. I think I'll just post it a couple more times. But
may as well try.
And then if nothing happens, maybe in the spring once the GTO's done, it does look a whole lot better. I put the Fleet Master together, and I put all the NOS fenders and stuff on it. We did get it cracked loose, so it's not seized anymore. But I think there is something wrong in the transmission there that it won't turn over all the way. So we put a wire on top of the pistons. We can feel the pistons moving up and down. So it's not seized anymore, but so I'm like, well, we got to stop here. I gotta throw it outside. So me and Young Aaron there put all the original stuff back on it again, the NOS, and then the deal was that the guy that bought the 4-door, he got he re-chromed bumpers and he re-chromed wings and bump heads and stuff. So that all went on his 4-door. So I took all the bumpers off of the 4-door, put it on the convertible. And it's actually a decent looking car. So we're putting it together and we're like, oh, should we really let it go? Because it's kind of a cool car. Yeah. But if it doesn't sell for what I'm asking for, and I'm asking, I put it up for 65. I'll let it go for like 55. But I kind of I left the grill in the packaging because the grill alone they're asking $3,000 US on eBay, so that's almost that's like $4,500 yeah. So
crazy. Well, I went public. We'll see if that actually worked.
Okay.
Because I don't know how this works exactly. We're pretty new to the whole live thing here.
Yeah.
But
at least it's working. But this is at Aaron's house, so
yeah, at least we have internet.
Yeah.
Can't get internet at Rich's.
No, my place is pretty remote. So
yeah. So we can see that we're live.
You guys totally can. What was that response to?
Cool. That we can go live. It's public with it.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
now we got 3 people watching us.
Oh, that's terrible. But we just said, so they're watching live from now on?
Yeah. I don't know who this guy is.
Or do they watch it from the beginning? Because now we got to talk about everything again.
Oh, they watch from that point. This is live. Like,
yeah.
They don't see what we were talking about.
Oh, okay. So for our Patreon supporters, we share some secrets that we can't tell, but this
Patreon exclusive.
There you go. Right on. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and appreciate everything so far. If you guys have any comments, just put them down below. We'll answer the questions as they come up. This is Aaron, who actually does all the editing, so the guy behind the scene. So we got his fancy home-built iMac Frankenstein computer here.
Hackintosh, yeah.
Hackintosh. Nice.
That's right.
So, is there questions underneath, or?
Oh, just Adam. Yeah, we're noobs. Yeah, for sure.
So, does everybody's questions come up?
Yeah. Yeah, they should. Live chats keep it. Yeah. I know that it keeps it recorded. So they might be able to see all their secrets. But whatever. So you didn't get to ask the questions. That's
you lost out. Sam got to hear about it 2 minutes before you guys did.
Yeah. Advanced screening. What about? Let's see here. The 85 Cummins.
So he's waiting for his buddy
yeah,
to sand it down, and they're going to keep the patina.
Okay.
And that giant rust spot or wherever the paint fell off on the passenger back door.
Yeah.
They're painting that and then sanding it down again, and then they're going to clear coat it. So he's got the windows tinted. He's got those nice BFGs on there. So it's a sharp looking truck.
Mm-hmm.
So that one's and it's neat. It was nice that RT Baker he's had about half a dozen offers to buy it off of him. And the 85 crew cab, somebody knocked on his door and asked if he would sell it, and he turned it down. And then somebody called me out of Florida and wanted to buy the Tahoe. But
Florida?
Yeah, but I couldn't sell it to him because we're in the Salt Belt. Our vehicles rust so fast that I can see the rust creeping up underneath my flarings and stuff. So if I shipped it down to Florida and sent it to him for the price that it's worth to me, right, he'd be pretty disappointed, and I don't want that. So I said, send me a vehicle and I'll throw a 4BT in it. But I think it was more of these, like, my vehicle broke and I need a new vehicle. So I want the Tahoe, but I didn't want to sell it to him. So I did try to sell it to the guy that wants me to build the Jeep Grand Cherokee. So it's a nice guy that I met.
No one knows about that.
Nobody knows about that. Well, I think and you price 10 jobs to get one, right? So my guy called me out of North Carolina, super nice guy. And he's battling cancer. He says, if I beat cancer, I want you to build me a Jeep Grand Cherokee with a 4BT in it, and I want to cruise all over Canada and the States. So I said, well, we can do that. I said, or I can sell you the Tahoe, because basically my body's falling off anyway. So I said, I'll buy it back from you after the trip. You can go off-roading and scratch it and whatever. I don't even really care. We'll pull the seats out of the back and put a bed in or whatever, and then it's already done. I know it would do it. I know it's a good drive line, right? And even if the vehicle comes back scratched and dented or whatever, we can put a paint job on it and fix the rockers and everything then, or just pull the drive line out and put in something else again. So So, but he didn't want to go for that. I think he had the idea in his head that he wanted a Jeep Grand Cherokee, so I think that's the route that we're going to go. And I'm excited for that one. So roof rack on it, kind of off-road capabilities on that one, like extra fuel tank. We had somebody offer us some light bars, so we might do that, throw a nice light bar on it, and then, So hopefully that works out. Hopefully he's healthy enough to do it. And actually jealous of him to be able to take off and go see that. 'Cause there's a lot of neat stuff to see, right? And kind of stuck paying the mortgage at home, so I can't do that. Can't do that on a giant road trip like that. But I think he's doing like months, like 3-4 months. Yeah. So yeah. Any other questions?
So Adam, what do you do? Where are you from? Let's talk about. Let's see here. What else can we talk about? Anything? Got some tractors in the shop.
Yeah, so we got a 4610 tractor Massey in there, and stupid emissions EGR. The EGR started leaking and dumped coolant all down into the exhaust, and then they kept running it, and the exhaust went into the exhaust valves and into the bent 3 rods, at least 2 anyway. So full engine job on a 2014 Massey with 600 hours on it, which is the equivalent of like 6,000 kilometers on a new car. Yeah, it's like barely broke in, and full engine job. So of course we ordered all the parts. They're supposed to, the bearing or the rods were supposed to come with the bearings, and they didn't. So we had to order 3 bearings. So that those are in the morning, which sucks because the tractor dealership where I'm buying the parts is 2 minutes away from your house. But you're like 45 minutes away, so we're going home, and first thing in the morning we're coming right back again to go pick up those bearings. So unless I can crash on your couch, just pick them up on the So
got a couple questions. 7.3.
The 7.3 is a very reliable engine, and that, like I said it before in one of the comments, that one of the greenhouses that one of the biggest greenhouses in Canada is actually in our town, called Rosa Flora, and they had a lot of Cubans with the 7.3 in it, and they've had plenty of them with over 1 million kilometers on it, delivering flowers to the States. A couple big design flaws: the return lines on them. There was these little plastic caps that went over the injectors with a rubber line connecting the injectors together. And just about every 2 years, that rubber line dries out and cracks, and those stupid little plastic clips break and crack, so they leak. So that's kind of you call it biannual. Every 2 years, you got to fix that. Semi-annual. And then they don't start very well in the cold. Even with the glow plugs, they don't seem to start like the Cummins do. But if you plug them in, it's not a problem. And another flaw they had was the glow plugs. They're $28 a piece, our cost anyway. And when you turn the key on, you get that wait to start light comes on, and those glow plugs are glowing cherry red. And if you have a guy come in and impatient and starts the truck before that light is off, the cold fuel hits the glow plugs, and then the glow plugs go. And it seems to be that if they're worn with more than 500,000 clicks on it, then they will not start without the glow plugs. So if you're the only driver and you have the patience to wait for that, then it's not a problem. With the Cummins of the same year, it's the grid heater, so it's the air going past it. So if you want to start, you can start it. That's not a problem. The 7.3 is by far the best Powerstroke that's out there, reliability wise. They're basic and simple, but they had to change from that 7.3 because there was no way that they could make it meet the emissions. So the 6 liter came out only because the 7.3 couldn't meet the emissions standards. So if it's the right price, I wouldn't hesitate to buy it. They'll go forever and ever. So not much power wise, but still reliable enough. So
all right. Let's talk about the best diesel ever built. Let's talk about that, and then we'll talk about Patreon.
Truck wise, yeah.
Why are we doing that? But
yeah, like pickup truck or like heavy truck.
Let's do both. Let's do pickup truck.
Pickup truck. It's still a 5.9 Cummins. It's still 12 valve, simple. Starts anytime, starts in the cold, starts whenever, and reliable and tunable. Like we went to the truck show and with major modifications, they were getting 2,000 horsepower out of it. It's still that 5.9 block, so but they don't have the power of the new ones, but none of the headaches of the new ones. And I've got one customer who 24 valve that I set the valves on. They haul trailers down to the States, so they go to California, Florida, and back and forth all the time. They have all crew cabs and mega cabs, and they turn the back into a bed. And he's got one truck with 1.8 million kilometers on it. Hasn't had the head off the engine yet. He's gone through 6 transmissions, I think. But that's his truck. He babies it and does really takes good care of it. And there is no Duramax, Powerstroke, or 6.7 Cummins that will ever get that high without a major breakdown or a rebuild. Anything after 2008, I would say 2009, it's just not going to happen. So 12 valve Cummins. As for the international, like a medium duty, I would say DT 466 before the E. That's I forgot how big it was, 7 point something liter. Great engine that was in my service truck. That's a wet sleeved engine. You can rebuild that thing in your driveway on a weekend. Great engine, very reliable. And then as for heavy truck, I like the old 3406 and even the C15 cats were great too. So
Catalyst.
Hey.
You didn't miss nothing.
No. Us yabbering and me laughing once in a while. So
okay, let's talk about we'll talk about Patreon for a minute here. Just because
one guy's upset? No, we lost the sub.
He's not here, so we'll talk about
okay.
Why are we on Patreon?
Why are we on Patreon? Because YouTube is one form of revenue to be able to bring in some sort of income. But even Canada Catalyst, he's got his own channel, and it takes a lot of work. It's not just and it's not just us. It's not just me recording a video and posting it. It's also Aaron that on his own time is editing everything, putting music in it, and trying to make the videos more enjoyable to watch than the average YouTuber. And when I was looking at videos to try and find some information, I get frustrated with people taking way too long to say what they had to say, and it's like, just get to the point, man. I don't want to in an age of I want it now. They're watching 20-minute videos on something that should have been 2. So with Aaron's editing abilities, he's able to at least make it more enjoyable to watch. But Aaron has nothing really to do with mechanics, so it's how many hours would you say you put a week in editing videos?
Oh no,
yeah. And don't lie, you always lie to me, I think.
I know. Probably 20 to 25 hours.
Yeah,
a week.
So 20 to 25 hours a week.
3 videos a week. Yeah, it's not sustainable at the moment.
No, like if you're wondering why, and so we have a little bit of ad revenue from YouTube. Yeah, but Patreon's a way to be able to grow faster and
yeah, we want to do a lot more.
Yeah,
and that helps us kind of budget things a little easier and sort of see what's in the future a lot faster.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, we love doing this, and we'll keep doing it. So and it's, you know, to keep that, obviously it's a free thing on YouTube.
Right.
That's the goal. So
right, but there's also, I have a very vivid imagination, which is what started with the Cummins swaps and that. So I'd love to be able to build my own projects, which is where the Cummins Commander came in. Right now, this is my full-time job, so I can only build what customers are bringing in through the door. So we build for both, right? Right. So I built my own trucks because I did that just for fuel savings. So our family got bigger, and we needed a bigger vehicle. I didn't want to drive a van, so we drove. I built the Tahoe. And the Silverado was way back, and that was for fuel savings for the construction company that I ran at the time. So we're getting into that. We're kind of fixing those and showing the video on that. And I wanted to put the Silverado back on the road, just because it's no good sitting the way it is, and vehicles still rot in Canada even if they're not moving. So they're just waiting for the right time, and that Dodge showed up. I got that at a good price, so that drive line was perfect. And then the Silverado worked out great for the LS swap, so that even though, most of the Silverado was paid for by the LS owner, I only took the front clip and the interior out of it, which would have been worthless to him anyway. So yeah, so I went 1/3 on that one, and that's it. So.
Do you think the 6.7 will be as reliable as the 5.9 has been all these years?
I think we'll get there. I think that I don't know if you were here when I was explaining about the 2014 tractor that we're working on, a little EGR cooler, and it already took a crap and dumped coolant all into the engine. And I think as long as they're actually using good materials, if they had a good cooler that they can guarantee won't leak coolant into the engine, then we can have somewhat of a reliable engine. But instead of, especially Ford, it's like Pinky and the Brain, where they almost have like a perfect plan, and then something goes wrong and they say, screw it, we'll just start over. If they just kept a focus on one thing and fix what's wrong with it, you could have a good engine. But basically it comes down to money, and if there's no money in it for them, they really don't care about the end user. They want it to break, and they want it to, they want you to get frustrated and buy a new vehicle again. It's just the economy that we're in, right? So buy it, use it, throw it away, buy another one. So.
And we're located, you're in Dunnville, Ontario, Canada.
So right on Lake Erie, about a half hour south of Hamilton. And you're in Vineland, right off the QEW, which is closer to Niagara Falls. Yeah. So, I haven't sold trucks yet, just because it hasn't come up yet. I used to fix equipment and sell equipment, and that's the one video that I made about is there money flipping cars, and I think there's more money in flipping equipment. But basically, every time the equipment comes in, it's leaking, fix the leaks, and then get it working. So it kind of got boring. So I just kind of, it used to be a lot different atmosphere in the shop. It was mostly heavy equipment before I started the YouTube channel. And as soon as we started the channel, all of a sudden more on-road vehicles started coming in. So you'll notice there was more tractor videos before we started the channel. So I still have those good customers, and I still enjoy the tractors, but I think I have ADD on a large scale, where I want to do something different every time, and splitting tractors and fixing leaks just wasn't turning my crank anymore, I guess. So the young guy likes it. For anybody who's just joining, I did hire a guy, so a nice young guy. So he'll be starting to show up in the video soon, and really energetic guy who's trying hard. So hopefully that works out. We keep him around for a while. He's big into bikes, so we might get into more bike builds. He's rebuilt his own motorcycle, an old Honda. He was talking, but I wasn't listening. So I never really got into bikes, but he's gonna take over a little bit of the bike side. And there's a bunch of his pictures here. He's ran heavy equipment, and so yeah, looking forward to what he can bring to the channel too. And I think it'll be better being able to bounce off of another guy. So have some fun with that rather than just me staring in the camera all the time. So yeah.
We can do maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes left.
Yep.
If you guys have more questions, let us know. Otherwise, we'll talk about the channel, I guess, right? Like what's happening behind the scenes and what is happening.
So we're getting microphones. We're getting microphones finally. So, yeah, I think we're gonna look for sponsors. I don't know. It's always conflicting. The frame thing, they came to us and it worked out okay. That actually helped us quite a bit, just because they paid us to make a video, and then as soon as the video went live, they took out a whole bunch of Google AdWords or something and sent a whole bunch of views our way. So that video was getting like 10,000 views a day. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So that was really nice. And if we were able to, was that
here's Sam's,
oh, nice. Shake your hood and everything. Oh, that's beautiful. You're 16 and you own that? That's awesome. You're like the coolest kid in high school, or what? Grade 11 driving that around?
We'll retweet that so everybody else can see it.
Nice. Sam was our first follower, and he told us about the 79 Trans Am he's got and a 99 Cummins. Not a Dodge. He said 99
He
Cummins.
made a Twitter account just to send you this.
Thanks, Sam. Make sure you follow him. Are we following him?
We'll follow you. There you go.
So the Mercedes, I think the next video of the Mercedes is coming up this Sunday. So we're working on the transmission, and it's coming along nice. I'm waiting for the turbo from VSS Racing. Haven't talked to Sloppy Mechanics yet, or Matt yet, but I haven't really got stumped on it yet. I'm getting excited about it. Unfortunately, that tractor blew up, and I got to fix him first. That's a daily machine for them. So, nice. And what else? Oh, waiting for the turbo, but building the exhaust around it now. The mounts are all done. Transmission's in. Drive shaft's getting made. And this one guy, he said that he had an intake for me about a month ago, and the intake is depending on how I build the throttle body and to make sure they got the room for the exhaust to go around the back. And he keeps dodging me, so I don't know whether he's trying to impress me by saying he has an intake when he really doesn't. I don't know, but if I don't get one in the next couple of days, I need a LS1 or an LS6 intake for the 5.3, because right now the truck intake is too high, so I got to drop it down a bit, and it looks like crap. So you got pictures of the that 5.9 that you put in the F-250, the 09.
Houston?
Yeah.
Houston?
Who did you go with? Did you go with Cummins Conversions or Specialists, or did you go with D-Stroke? That's Houston?
Yeah.
And I haven't done any engine work on a 6.7 Cummins.
Not yet.
So, not yet. I'm sure we'll get there. The guy that does all the trailers from down south, he does strictly 5.9. He's got 1.67. He had it for a summer and then he sold it again. He hated the truck. So yeah. So what's the weirdest swap that I would consider? You know what? I'm up for anything. And I know I've kind of made a name for Cummins swaps, but I really just like jamming anything into anything. So I think
we're live.
That's okay. So we got another buddy who's got a little midget and wants to put an SRT4 into it. So that's the 4-cylinder turboed out of a PT Cruiser, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yes, or Neon. I think the Neons were turboed. So he wants to put that in a midget, but I want to drive it too. I don't know if I can, but somebody was asking me about putting a TDI engine into something. But I think the TDI really can only fit into tiny little vehicles because it's kind of underpowered for the most part. So
someone wants to know how long till the wagon's done.
The wagon,
a lot of variables with that, right?
There's a lot of variables with that, and it is my first swap. And so right now, the mounts are all done. The engine's sitting where it's supposed to. The drive shaft's getting made, but what he needs to do is find a yoke that goes on the differential with the right amount of splines and the ears that will match the output on the or on the other end of the drive shaft, which is the 4L60. So that's an issue I'm running into. And then so the mounts I can't change. The engine, it took a long time actually to get the engine to sit just right because the steering was in the way and the starter was in the way. So I got it all without having to change any of that. Now the exhaust is next because the exhaust you can't change. But then once the exhaust is built with the turbo and everything on it, then we're pulling the engine out and then getting it running. We're going to use an HP tuner from a guy in town. So that's my first tune on the original ECU. And getting it running outside the vehicle and then taking it to the dyno shop, the same shop that we took the GTO engine to. And then we can do a tune on it. And I'd like to actually do a couple different tunes. And if it's not a big deal, because we are putting a cam in it, to see what the engine would run stock without the turbo, and then put the exhaust from the turbo on there and see what different horsepower and torque numbers we actually get. You can't. It's really hard to tune those engines outside of a dyno because they're like, it's hard to get traction and everything. So you can have the laptop beside you and get readings, but you can't actually get the full potential out of the engine where you can on a dyno.
Is he planning on dyno again?
They told me originally, so as long as it's still within the budget, because the problem is,
no promises. Right?
Yeah, no promises. So I want to put it on the dyno, and it only makes sense. Hopefully, I can convince him to do that then.
Yeah.
But that takes time too, because then I got to get it running outside the car with a fuel pump and the wiring harness, and then build the harness for it inside too. So, and it's not like a sloppy build where it's just got it running and beat it down the road. The tack's going to be working, the speedo's going to be working, and all that machining's done as well. So the tack is working now, or I figured out how to get the tack working. The machining's done in the tailstock for the speedometer. And so it's going to be a total sleeper. So when you get in the car, it looks like Mercedes. There's nothing else. I'm going to put the manual boost controller somewhere where you can't see it, and then just a triple gauge stack for his monitors. But for the most part, I want it done professionally. When you pop the hood, the coils are going to be hidden underneath the exhaust. Like, I don't want the coils on top of the valve covers. Polish the valve covers nicely, nice intake on it. And then, but all that takes time. So it being a toy, it's also probably, I don't think it's a good idea to give it back to him while there's snow on the ground.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What is we got maybe 5 minutes we'll do?
Yeah, we can do another 5 minutes.
What's the first thing to upgrade on an 02 Dodge Cummins?
The lift pump on it, and just keep that steering in check. You're going to spend most of your money keeping the tires from wearing off. So I don't know how long you've had the truck, but watch that suspension, because yeah, they asked me what the best truck is. We'll do a video too. That customer that I've got, he's got everything but a 6.7. I know somebody else who has a 6.7. So we'll put all the vehicles in the driveway and kind of do what's the best year Cummins to get. But I always think of Cummins outside of a Dodge, because I'm pulling them out of Dodges and putting them in anything else. So whereas other people are like, what's the best of your Cummins to get? But that also varies with what Dodge you're getting, because there's different transmissions and different suspensions and stuff. And so we'll make a good video explaining all those and get the customer's input too, because he's driven them the million kilometers, right? So he knows better than anybody what he would buy and what he wouldn't do again. So
what's the weirdest swap you would consider?
Didn't we already answer that? I would do anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Make it run and make it go. I don't care.
Ever do anything with Powerstroke?
No, I haven't done anything with the Powerstroke, honestly. There's another shop in town who does mostly Ford, and we actually he actually he's got a couple fleets that have Fords. He does Union Gas. They have all Fords, and there's a couple. There's 2 other companies that he works with that have a whole fleet of Fords, and they just buy Powerstrokes because it's what they've always done, and he makes a good living fixing all their Powerstrokes. But yet he also sells tractors and equipment and stuff. But he had an F550 on 08, and they yanked out the 6.4 and put in a 5.9 Cummins. So we went and made a video on it, and then got permission to make the video. We actually have him on camera saying, yeah, go ahead. He gave me the keys and everything. We fired it up. And then we put the video up, but then he made us take the video back down again because he fixes everybody else's Powerstrokes and puts a Cummins in his own Ford. So all the badging is still Powerstroke and that. We took the video down. It's too bad. That one was a good video.
The interesting thing about that video is that it had the biggest spike in videos added to playlists out of any other video we've ever done. And it just went straight up in one day and then back down as soon as we had to pull that. So yeah, I'm pretty getting hurt about it.
Yeah, and that's my old boss doesn't like me leaving. So not that I'm competition, but I think it's an ego thing where he thinks that every guy that's ever worked for him has to work for him because without him we're nothing. So it's one more way to have some power over me, right? Yeah, you can make the video. No, you can't make the video. Take the video down. And he did it in a very threatening way. So it's it was very unfortunate. But most of the Powerstrokes go to him. There's another shop in town that does most of Duramax, and I'm more of the old Cummins guy. So
I was gonna say, let's see. Houston said specialist. So he went with specialists.
Okay.
Still needs a wiring harness. They sell those.
I think they sell a wiring harness, but see, I don't know what they did. So they would have. Is that the what transmission is that? The 5? Is that still the 510? Or 510? It's been a while since I did the 04. I forget what the transmission is in that. But they would have. It's not a standalone, right? So they would have wrote a program to make it shift, right? The transmission's the big thing. The engine, there's nothing to it. So you can watch the 04 video and figure out how to wire in the engine. But I don't know how the conversion specialists make your transmission move. So
we're in Canada. Yes, we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you sell the 350? Did you sell it? The 350 engine?
No. That's
the Camaro, right?
Yeah, so I sold the Camaro. The Camaro's gone. And it's funny, the Camaro, we're checking out Kijiji, and he took a picture of it while it was still on the trailer at a gas station. It's for sale again as parts.
Really?
Yeah. So he couldn't even unload it before he tried to flog it again, which is fine. It's unfortunate for that car that it'll never ever get back on the road again. It's just going to go from person to person, and everybody's going to try and make a buck off of it. The 350, I still have the 350 Cody if you want it. I do want $500 for it. It is all built. If you don't take it soon, though, I'm going to throw it in the plow truck because I think my plow truck's going to blow up any day. So
there you go, Powerstroke swap.
Powerstroke swap. It's not a diesel, but it's a built 350 with roller rockers and high compression, something or other, and a Holly on it. So I'll be able to spin all 4 tires. That'd be a good burnout video anyway. I got lots of tires and a nice, so I don't know, Cody. The more I'm talking, the less I want to sell to you.
2006 motor. What's your opinion? Excuse me.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking of the older one with the lift pump. Sorry.
Well, let's see. Starting issue on 6.7 was CP on Freightliner. Can I add a lift pump? On a Freightliner. Can I add a lift pump?
I honestly don't know.
Oh, there he is again. So there's no lift pump. It draws straight from tank and lines look fine. Getting low rail pressure codes. Replace CP3A, no chart, no change.
You got to put a manual gauge on it and see what your pressures actually are to make sure that they're within spec, I guess. That'd be the place to start anyway. It's not running, it's not starting, it's not getting fuel. Plain and simple.
Yeah, we're almost over. Ever have experience with diesel doctors?
No.
We saw them at the Fergus truck show.
Oh yeah,
didn't we?
Yeah.
Diesel doctor.
Yeah, their truck didn't do so well. They had the Ford.
They had a few trucks though.
Okay.
I don't know how well all their trucks did.
Yeah. No, I never worked with them, but they're Canadian then.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
We don't know them, so make the connection for us. We'll do a collab.
Yeah, someday.
GTO. We talked about the GTO a little bit. It's not since the last episode.
No, since the last episode, it's been put in the corner there, and I got to weld the frames to the floor pans, like spot weld all those in, and then weld the rocker solid, and then it's going to hopefully it'll be going in the paint booth right after Christmas. So kind of a lull in the guy that we deal with. He's usually kind of slow after Christmas. So his busiest time is right now, actually, because it's hunting season and the deers are kind of all up in arms. So we got to watch hitting deer down the road. But he says his busiest time is right now when lots of people are smoking deers. So I thought it would have been when there's snow on the ground, but that's what he says. So after Christmas, hopefully he'll do the last of the blocking and he'll paint it, and then we'll put it back together again. So it will be on the road this coming summer. Like one way or another, it's going to be on the road. So
yeah, one thing we're trying. Well, yeah, I'd like to see it drag racing against the Generally or. The kit car.
Yeah, so we have
a few guys locally that have replicas.
Yeah.
So
that would make a good video.
Trying to hit them up and see. I don't know if they'll ever put one on
actually, young Aaron, I hired another Aaron that's going to help me in the shop, and he's actually good friends with the guy who owns the Cuga track. We did iCar where we drove a couple Ferraris and Lamborghinis and stuff on the track.
It's coming out soon. That's maybe a couple weeks. We'll see. Yeah,
it is done, but the video is a couple weeks away. But he actually is friends with the owner's son, so hopefully we'll be able to get the track to ourselves and take some of the projects and have like a thrash day. But at the same time, invite some people out or whatever, and I'd love to do a drag race against anybody, really. But I'd like to see RT Baker going up against the GTO. I think that'd be an interesting one. Yeah. I think RT's a lot lighter, and it only goes forward. So
someone's asking about the open house this year. Maybe next year we'll do a drag race. Who knows? Right?
Yeah. Actually, open house at the track would be really cool, and have all the projects there and that. Maybe we could aim for something like that. That'd be a lot of fun.
Not all drag cars, but yeah,
to have some races or whatever, and if people bring cool rides, just have kind of a track day. So yeah, we'll see.
What we can do.
It would have to be an off day though. It'd be after like a Tuesday morning, because they won't give us the track during like Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, but you dealt with wax drying up and falling off GTO. GM frames. Any advice on how to
Pour 15 is by far the best. I've trim cladded my frames and that again in a year or two, and that's all rusty again. So yeah. Andy Watson. I don't know Andy Watson, but I'll have to look him up.
Well, send him over to the channels and send him the channel info.
Yeah.
Tell him to get in touch with us.
Yeah.
Opinion on oversized injectors and turbos. Is there a percent overstock you recommend stocking?
You got to pay to play. That's what I tell everybody. You want to boost your truck, and 12 valves fine. Put your plate forward and get a little more boost, and that's fine. You're not going to do any damage, but you can go to the moon with any of these engines, and then you just it costs to build it, and then it costs to fix it because your training's shot and your drive line's shot. So the engineers really do have a certain stress level that they factor in, and you can play with it if you want, but it's just, you got to pay to play. It gets expensive. So not going to really help your mileage much, except if you get rid of some of the emission stuff, which is not legal. I can't tell you to do that, but yeah. That's about it.
People do it, right?
Yeah, people do it. So
okay, we're gonna probably cut this off here, but if you guys want to ask more questions or show us, your builds and stuff that you're working on, you can either come over to Facebook, or if we got a Facebook group. I shared the link earlier, or check us out on Reddit. We're on Reddit now too.
Yep.
And if you want to support what we're doing on Patreon, then you know where to find that link too. So
yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.
And yeah, hopefully we can do some crazy stuff this year and the coming years and see where this goes.
Yeah. See you later.
See ya.
From Canada. Bye.